Hey guys, it's Lex. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Make sure you also like and comment on this video, and then also share, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Come join the squad. So I've been gone. It's been like over a month. No videos, no nothing. But a lot has been going on. Like, as you can see from the title, we're going to be doing a mukbang today. I'm going to be telling my story of my labor and delivery. I really planned on filming the labor and delivery, like while in the hospital and all that good stuff. But the hospital I was at really wasn't having it. And then I was in so much pain, honey, I was not worried about picking up no camera. Period. Okay, like, period. I had a time in there. Do you hear me? Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So, I have some seafood today. This is from a local seafood place in my town. It's called Rain. If you remember or watched one of my vlogs before, you know that we went there to eat for my little sister's birthday. I'm really upset because, you know, usually it comes with gloves and like the little bib and stuff. Baby, they didn't give me that this time. What's going on? Where's my gloves? Where's my bib? Hello? Like, where's my stuff? So, felt to have to be a little ghetto. And, you feel me, just make one. If I can do it. Hold on one second. I'm probably not even doing this right. Baby, I done made a whole scarf. Hold on. Scratch it. Alright. So, in the boil, I have crab legs, shrimp, potatoes, corn, and sausage. And I have a bottle of water. Okay. So let's just jump right into it. And I'm really hungry. This is the first thing I've eaten all day, and it's 4:15. So don't mind me, don't judge me if you see me over here going in, okay? Let me say my grace. So, okay. I gave birth to a baby boy. His name is Kenzo. I haven't revealed his name on this channel yet, but his name is Kenzo. You guys know I was calling him Baby K. So, baby Kenzo was born on December 11th of 2020, which was a Friday. His my due date wasn't really until December 20th, but you know, I had him early. I was like 3 days away from being 39 weeks. So I was literally almost 39 weeks. I was full term. So it was fine. But let me tell you, you know, I had an easy pregnancy. Like, I wasn't sick. I was really blessed. I wasn't sick. I didn't vomit, no morning sickness, like no pain, no complicate, like none of that. The biggest thing I had was weight gain. That was my biggest thing. I probably said it in every video. And I know people are tired of hearing me saying it, but like the weight that I gained, y'all, was ridiculous. Like, between me and you, I gained probably like 70 pounds. Yeah, bitch, I said it, 70 pounds. Like, what? And I mean, as you can tell, I lost most of it. But if you go back into my previous videos, just compare my face then to now. Like, my face is still kind of sort of fat, but baby, we a whole lot better than what we were. So yeah, the weight gain was my biggest thing. The only complication that I did have is that I had a low-lying placenta, which basically means that your placenta is too close to your cervix. You know, your cervix is where the baby comes out of. So the placenta was potentially blocking it. So I was told I would have to have a C-section because of that. But towards the end, my placenta kind of moved to where I was able to vaginally push. Well, thought I was going to be able to vaginally push. Honey. So, I said that to say, like, yes, I had an easy pregnancy, but there weren't actual labor and delivery. It was a little complicated. So, let's just speed things along. All right, so it was probably like 38 weeks that I tried, or 37 to 38 weeks that I tried to walk the baby down. I tried to get on my bouncy ball because, baby, I was ready for this baby to go. Like, I was ready for Kenzo to get up out of me. You hear me? I was tired of being pregnant at the end. So I'm like, oh, you know, I can have him. 37 weeks, I was on my ball. I was walking. I probably could have walked a little bit more than I was, honestly. But, like, I walked the whole mall a few days, walking the house. I live on the 3rd floor, so I would walk up and down the steps. Get on my bouncy ball. And just do different stuff to try to get him out. But he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. So, December 10th is when things got crazy. Yeah. So, I started having Braxton Hicks probably like around 37 weeks. 36 or 37 weeks. And they were fine, you know. Regular cramps don't bother me. So I would tell people all the time, oh, I'm not getting epidural. I have a high pain tolerance. Yada, yada, yada. So when the Braxton Hicks came, you know, I was prepared for them. They weren't bad at all. Like, I was cool. So I knew I would be able to handle the contractions. Because I was like, oh, this is fine. It's not that bad. But, honey, let me tell you, those contractions are something else. So, I started getting Braxton Hicks. Then on December 10th, I started to get, like, real contractions. Probably December 9th through December 10th. It probably started on December 9th. So, I decided to stay with my mom. Where I was at my mom's house on December 10th. Or December 9th. One of those last couple days, I was at my mom's. So, let me tell y'all. When I say down bad, your girl was down bad. Do you hear me? I'm probably going to insert some clips so you can see. My family kind of recorded me in the process. I look like a fiend, okay? I look like I was on something. Like, I was down freaking bad, yo. Like, I have never experienced any pain like that in my life. Like, ever. I couldn't do anything. Couldn't eat, couldn't drink. Barely could sit the hell up. So, December, when was it? I'm trying to think, y'all. I got my story mixed up. Hold on, let me backtrack. It's so much. My sister, okay. All right, my oldest sister stayed with me, actually. Okay, I gotta backtrack. I think it was like, yeah, December 10th. My oldest sister stayed with me. And, I was just getting, like, I had terrible pain. And it was probably like, I had the pain all day from the morning time all the way up until like 2 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever. So it was just pain. Like, I was getting regular contractions in my tummy, but it was just pain in my back, like right here. That would not, when I tell you guys, it would not go away. It would not go away. It was a constant pain. And I had a few back contractions too. The contractions weren't that bad. it was this pain, okay, that was in my back that I thought was contractions, but it really was how Kenzo was positioned in my body. Like, when I tell you guys, yo, that pain was unbearable. It was like a constant throb like this. Like constant all day, all night. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. So this was December 10th. It was probably like around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I told my sister, please drive me to the hospital. Like, I need to go now. I got a shower and I went. Now, mind you, if you remember from my last video, I was having my baby at a hospital that was about maybe 40 minutes away because I don't like the doctors in my hometown. So for my whole pregnancy, I've been going to a whole nother OB and a whole nother staff in a different city. So, or town. But I was in so much pain. I said, fuck it. I'm gonna have my baby here, right where I live. The hospital, literally in my town, is probably about 5 minutes away from my house. So I told my sister to drive me there. She drove my car there. I get seen. The bitches sent me home. They sent me home, y'all. They gave me, first of all, the doctors there were so nonchalant, a little bit rude, and the lady like didn't know what she was doing really. And let me tell you about the blood. Hold on. This what really got me. I was ready to go after this for real. The lady tried to draw my blood. I mean, put the IV in. When I tell y'all, and this never happened to me, but this hospital that I'm talking about is known for not knowing how to draw blood or put IVs and stuff. Anything that has to do with your veins, they don't really know. She done put the needle in my arm. When I tell you, blood squirted everywhere. Blood squirted everywhere. She gonna say, excuse me, I just made a little mess. A little mess? Girl, this is my body you talk about, not a little mess. Ooh, and she had to stick it like 2 times, 3 times. That's why I was like, see, that's why I need to go to where I was supposed to be going. But anyway, the doctors there didn't know what they was talking about. They gave me a pill. They gave me a pill for my pain that apparently they weren't really supposed to give me based on my vitals. That's what my other doctors told me when I got to where I was supposed to be at. So I'm glad they sent me home. I'm actually glad they didn't do my procedure. So I wasn't dilated when I went to the hospital that day. They said I wasn't dilated anymore. So that night, December 10th, I stayed with my mom. When I tell you guys that night was brutal, that's the night. Nobody has ever seen me like that. Ever. I haven't even seen myself like that. When I put these clips in here, just know it's real. Just know it's real, okay? So, again, it was that pain in my back. So, my mom, I have 6 siblings. And like 4 of them, yeah, it was 4 of them at my mom's house, literally taking care of me. I had my mom, my niece, my 4 siblings, and my cousin taking care of me. When I tell you I couldn't do anything, I couldn't do nothing. They would try to get me up to walk. They would try to get me up to eat. Like, I couldn't do anything. That constant pain in my back just would not let me be great. It was so bad, y'all. My sister had to bathe me. This is all on December 10th. The whole day. I mean, they would take shifts. They would take turns rubbing my back, getting me water, just literally rubbing my back, putting ice wherever I needed to be, wherever it needed to be put. Like, literally, they would come in and out and just rub my back, rub my back, rub my back. I would lean on them like this. They would rub my back. I was crying. I was dehydrated. When I tell you guys, my mouth was so freaking dry. My mouth was like cotton. I had cotton mouth. Yo, I had cotton mouth. When I tried to talk, it just wasn't working. My lips were crusty as hell. Yo, now that I think about it, it's just so funny. My lips were crusty as hell. Cotton mouth. My vision just felt like it was just blurred. It was blurred. I couldn't do anything, y'all. I couldn't do nothing. Like, I don't know. It must have been like his feet or his knees or in my back. And it was just like a boom, 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 constant feeling. No matter what position I laid in, no matter where I stood, it didn't matter. Like, it was just coming. It was just coming, coming, coming. It was so bad. I was crying. Then on top of that, I was having contractions, which weren't that bad. But I had that pain and I had a contraction. So that next morning, December 11th, I'm like, Mom, please drive me to the hospital. Like, I cannot go another day like this. Like, when I tell you guys I was in so much pain, my pain level was probably like at a 50 out of 10. And no cap. Like, I'm being real. I'm not being dramatic or anything. It was real. I barely got any sleep. Like, I was up. Everybody kept taking turns. Like, I just want to thank my family for real, because they were there. They were really there for me. So the next morning, December 11th, my baby's birthday. I'm like, Mom, like, no, matter of fact, I called my mom that night. She was at work. She got off at 10. I called her at like 9:30 and was like, Mom, can you please take me to the hospital? Mind you, I just got back from the hospital that day. I'm like, can you please take me to the hospital? Like, I cannot do this. She like, Lexi, they're going to send you home, baby. You're not dilating any. You don't have no, you're not going nowhere. Like, you're not doing anything. They're going to send you home. I'm like, Mom, I can't do this. I can't. Like, it was just bad. It was really bad. So I didn't go to the hospital that night, but the next morning, you know, they kept telling me, Lex, you gotta walk, you gotta get up and walk, you need to push him down, you gotta get up, blah, blah, blah. So I tried. So yeah, the next morning we went to the hospital. It was probably like 11 o'clock, 11 to 12. We drove up and she was like, okay, you wanna go to the hospital? We're gonna go to the hospital. We're gonna go see your doctors, because the hospital down here, they don't really, they haven't been seeing you. They don't know what's going on. They don't know your story or anything. So we went to where I was supposed to go. And I get there. I got corn stuck in my teeth. And you know, first you see the nurse before you see the doctor. So the nurse is taking all my vitals and stuff. And let me tell y'all, when they check your cervix, I know this, I'm sorry y'all, this is all over the place, but just stay with me. Just stay with me. I'm all over the place. But anyway, when they check your cervix, when I tell y'all that shit hurts. Oh my God, like every time they would check my cervix, I'm telling y'all, I was scooching away from the bed, screaming. Oh, that shit hurts, okay? That shit really, really hurts. They stick their fingers like all the way up there. Mind you, I haven't been doing anything, sadly, but I haven't been doing anything. So that shit really, really, really hurt. Like when I tell y'all it hurt, it really hurt. They worked with me in that hospital because I gave them hell. But anyway, they checked my cervix and I was only 2 centimeters dilated. And this was like around 1 o'clock. So the nurse was scaring me. She was like, oh, she probably won't, she'll probably send you home. You're only 2 centimeters dilated. When I tell y'all, my face got so frowned up. Like, just keep me, take the baby. Just take him at this point. Just take him. Don't send me home. Do whatever you got to do. Give me a C-section. I don't care. Take him. He got to go. I was not trying to feel that pain again. So then they checked my baby's heartbeat. Well, for some reason, his heart rate kept fluctuating. It kept going up, it kept going down, in the middle. Like, it just kept going back and forth. So the nurse came back in here, and then my doctor came in there, and she was like, well, you're full term right now, and your baby's heartbeat is kind of going up and down a little bit, so there's no reason to send you home. She said, we're not going to send you home full term and that. Like, it's just no way we're going to admit you. When I tell y'all, I praise the Lord, honey, I praise the Lord. You know, I felt bad that my baby's heartbeat was going up and down. But at the same time, I was like, yes, hallelujah. They're keeping me. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I'm having my baby today. Like, there's really no meat in here. That's crazy. So I was excited. My mom was excited. I was scared at the same time. But excited. So let me tell you guys about my journey in the hospital. Mind you, I'm still thinking that I can push at this point. So they're giving me the rundown of how everything's about to go. Whatever. I'm still like, oh, I don't want no epidural. I'm good. Bitch. That pain started coming. You hear me? That pain started coming. I said, I need an epidural. First, they were giving me some medicine. Every couple hours, they would give me medicine to help with the pain. And they said, I could only get that like 3 times. Once I get that 3 times, that's it. Or I could get the epidural. I got that medicine, I think 2 times. And then I was like, my mom kept begging me, because my mom, she has 7 kids, and 6 out of the 7 she gave birth naturally. She pushed no epidural. So she kind of gave me motivation to try it. I don't know how she did it. Baby, I don't know how she did it, okay? So she kept begging me not to get the epidural, Hold off on it. Try to go as long as I could. Girl, I did go as long as I could. Do y'all know? I was talking all that stuff to everybody, like, oh, I don't need it. Everybody kept telling me, you're gonna need it, you're gonna need it. I kept telling everybody, honey, I have a high pain tolerance. I'm not getting no epidural. Girl, I got the epidural. I was 2 centimeters dilated. I was only still 2 centimeters dilated. This was probably like at 4 or 5 o'clock. Still only 2 centimeters dilated. And I told them, please just give me the epidural. I can't do it. Please. So I got the epidural. And that wasn't too bad. I was scared to get it because, you know, some people become paralyzed because of it. Some people have back issues. Some people move. Like, I was just scared. And on top of that, y'all, okay, in the hospital, I also got 2 fevers while being in the hospital before birth. So the time that I got the epidural, I had a fever and I had the chills. So I was shivering, like, for a long time. I was cold. I had like 6 blankets on me. And the first nurse I had, she was a little rude. She was like, and my mom was about to get with her too. She was like, oh, you got all these blankets. It's not that cold in here. Like, just because you're not cold, bitch, don't mean I'm not cold. I'm over here with a fever. I'm freezing. Yeah, I had like 5 blankets on me. And I was like really shivering. So, and I had to get the epidural while freaking shivering, and you can't move. So the nurse was like, oh, you know, just try to stay still, blah, blah. I had a pillow in front of me, and then I had the nurse. I asked the nurse, well, can I please just hug on you? This was a different nurse, and she was like so much nicer. I loved her. So she let me like grab onto her like this, and she held me as I held her. And I just tried to stay as still as possible, okay? And they give you 2 needles when you get the epidural. One to numb you, and one is the actual epidural. And it was fine. I mean, needles don't really bother me, for real. And it was fine. No biggie on that. So got the epidural, you know, the pain started going away slowly. Okay, boom. Still only 2 centimeters dilated. So they're like, oh, you know, we're going to give you some medicine to increase your contractions, make them more close together so you can start dilating more. Well, I start doing that. They start giving me that. Kenzo wasn't having it. His heart rate started back dropping. Every time I would have a contraction, his heart rate would drop. Mind you, I already had 2 fevers. Okay, they already gave me medicine for that. I had an IV in this arm, an IV in this arm, a whole bunch of other medication for other stuff. Then they gave me the medicine for, I was like on so much medicine, it's crazy. Like I was ready to get up out of the hospital. Then they gave me medicine to increase my contractions. So they kept monitoring his heart rate for a few hours to see, you know, how it will go. And it got a lot better for a long time. It got better. And then lastly, this was probably around 10 o'clock at night. Still only 2 centimeters dilated. They're like, you know, well, you know, nothing's really changing. Nothing's going on. His heart rate, you know, was doing good at first, but we kind of see it dropping a little bit. She was like, it's not horrible, but we don't want it to get horrible, so we're just going to do an emergency C-section. Which, honestly, I should have done in a C-section from the jump, since that's what we originally planned on doing. But last minute, you know, they told me I could try to push because my placenta moved, so I was like, sure. But I should have just did the C-section from the jump. So I had to go in for an emergency C-section, and that got me a little nervous because I'm like, is everything okay? You know, what's going on? So I got this, it was probably, and of course my mom was there. It was probably like, at this point, 11 o'clock I was going in, or 11 something, I was going in for the C-section. And I already had epidural because I thought I was pushing. And then, you know, when you get a C-section, they give you anesthesia. So I had epidural and anesthesia, so I was good. I didn't feel a thing. So I go in for the C-section, and you know, you can't really see anything because they put this thing up in front of you, so you can't see anything. Couldn't feel anything. A C-section was, the actual procedure itself is cool. Watching it, I watched a lot of videos on YouTube. I don't know about watching because they take all the stuff out. But getting it done, like, it's, you know, I just realized my paper towel. How long has my paper towel not been on me? I just realized that. Wow. So I was like, okay, well, at least I don't have to go through the pain of pushing, but at the same time, the recovery for a C-section is crazy. But it was fine. The only thing that I felt during the C-section was when they were pulling him out, I felt pressure. Like, it was a lot of pressure. It was like a relief. It was just like, like something's coming out of you. And I was just like, oh my God, he's coming, I feel it. And then when he came out, I didn't hear no cry. So I started panicking. I said, Mom, oh my God, why is he not crying? Why is he not crying? A couple seconds later, he started crying. And he looked, when he came out, he looked exactly like, when I say exactly like his dad. It's crazy. Exactly like that man. So, I stayed in the hospital for about, I think it was 3 days I was in there. And you know, after you have a C-section, girl, you down in the hospital. You are down. I was in that bed for 24 hours. They had me peeing in a tube, in a bag or whatever. Don't worry about pooping after you have a baby. You know, you can't poop for a couple days anyway. So I didn't worry about that, but I couldn't take a shower for 24 hours, so Yeah, I couldn't take a shower for 24 hours. So my mom gave me like a wash up, and the nurse gave me a wash up later that night. Then they had you kind of like rolling from side to side. And let me tell y'all, that hurt. After having a C-section, that really fucking hurt. Then, let me tell y'all, my oxygen, like when I tell y'all it was so many things wrong with me in this hospital, I don't know what's going on. I was fine when I got there. When I got there, so many things happened to me. My oxygen was low. So before I had the baby, they had me on the oxygen mask for a long time. And then after I had the baby, they had me doing this breathing exercise. I forget what the actual tool is called, but excuse me. They have you doing this breathing exercise where you have to like breathe into this thing and get to a certain level. I had to do that like every hour because my oxygen was low. Like, I don't understand. But anyway, the oxygen was low, so I had to do that. I had to have 2 blood transfusions because my iron was low. I already suffered from low iron. And when I got there, you know, you're supposed to be at like a level 13. I don't know if you guys know that, but like between 12 and 13. When I got to the hospital, they said I was at a level 8. After I had the baby, I was at a level 6. So I was like extremely low with the blood levels and stuff. And a couple weeks before I went in the hospital, I had to have an iron transfusion. And I'm like, well, that didn't work. So I got the 2 blood transfusions. I had low oxygen. My blood pressure was getting low. I had 2 IVs. I had the chills. And then towards the end, they told me I had something else going on with my breathing and stuff. I'm not going to get into that. But it's not that big of a deal to worry about, but something else came about. And I'm like, Lord, like, where's all this stuff coming from? And they were just saying, like, all the stress of carrying the baby and what my body been through and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. So it was a lot. You know, they come and check on you every hour in the hospital. And then when they have to keep pressing on your tummy to make sure it's okay. And that crap really hurt. That hurt. Then it was fine. Like I had a good staff in the hospital. It was cool. The experience was a little rough, but I had a good staff. And my doctor who did my C-section, like she did an amazing job. Like you can barely see the incision, like barely see it. She did a really good job. I'm so happy I went to her. The only thing that got me down in the hospital was, you know, I had a C-section, so you barely can move. So my mom had to go to work overnight, like one night. And because of COVID, you can only have one guest in the room with you, and you can't swap out guests. Like once that one person signs in for you, it's only that one person. So once my mom went to work, I didn't have anybody there. I was by myself. So when the baby was in the room with me, and he was in the little bassinet thing, and he would cry, like it would take me a little minute to get to him because like I didn't walk. He was like beside me, but I had to get up and like get him. And it took me a little minute because my body was still recovering and in so much pain, and you had to take it slow, take it real slow right after having a C-section. So I was getting a little frustrated and sad because I'm like, damn, my baby's crying and I can't even really get to him as fast as I want to. Like that really took a toll on me. And I didn't want to keep calling the nurse every time I needed to get him. They would take him when I wanted to take a nap. Or something, but I didn't want to just keep calling. But so that got to me a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. It's hard after having a C-section, so I mean, it's normal. But you know, he's here now. He's healthy. I prayed for a beautiful, healthy baby boy, and that's what I got. He weighed 7 pounds and 8 ounces, and he was 21 inches long. And he was born at 11:53 p.m., almost midnight. And yeah, I'm fine. I'm healthy. I thank God that I made it through because a lot of people don't. So getting a major surgery or just even doing a major thing like that, like I salute all women. So then I had to come home and I adjusted to being a mommy. I've gotten a routine together for us. I've adjusted. Everything's cool. So you guys will be able to meet baby Kenzo soon. Actually, probably on my next video. If you don't, you should follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook, because I post him on there a lot on my story and stuff. Damn it. You can follow me at Lexus, LEXUSS_Brianna. That's on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. Yeah, so that's my story time of me giving birth. It was a little rough, but it was worth it. And I'm glad it's over. And I love my stinker man. I'm basically done with my seafood. I got a few pieces of shrimp left, but I don't want them. That's my story time. Thank you guys for, oh my God. Thank you guys for watching, listening. Leave your experience in the comments. Let me know how your delivery went. Let me know what other videos you want to see me do. My next video, you'll probably see Kenzo in it. It involves him. And you'll probably see that a few days after this one. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys follow me on social media. I'll leave everything in the description box below. And make sure you guys subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon.